Alright guys, we're back. Today we're going to do the 7 most baffling things about American grocery stores. This is Lawrence from Lost in the Pond. I really enjoy his videos. He's really good. As a Brit that resides in the US and is a permanent resident alien, I have been here for many years. I have a unique perspective when it comes to his videos because I can relate to both sides just like he can. I don't have an accent. I got mercilessly picked on for it when I was in school, so I got rid of it as quick as I could. Now I wish I still had it, but I'm excited to watch this, and let's get into it.
Hello, this year I have been doing a lot of videos devoted to trying American food for the first time. This video is sponsored by SimpliSafe. After all, there's no safe like SimpliSafe. And something that you don't really see in those videos is the fact that we have to go and get the ingredients from a supermarket. I have 2 missions on this mission. Number 1, to pick up some of the ingredients for Maryland crab cakes, which I'll be making in my next video. And number 2, to show you some of the baffling things about American grocery stores. And
I'd just like to say really quick that I watched a lot of videos and a lot of English people, my mother included, my mom included, before we knew, it was always Maryland. It's not Maryland, it's Maryland. Maryland.
Just as we pull into the parking lot at Jewel Osco, if you've not yet subscribed to this channel, do that now.
Do that.
In the meantime, let's go shopping. Well, first thing to notice is that you don't have to put any kind of coin in order to procure a shopping trolley, or cart as they're known here. This is something you will see at Aldi, which is something that you see at Aldi around the world. But for the most part, American carts don't require it. In the UK, coin-operated trolleys are a bit more prevalent, with some supermarkets employing them and others not. Back in 2017, these trolleys made the news when many of them were incapable of accepting Britain's new 12-sided pound coin. You know,
that's funny. We actually do, in the US, we really don't use the quarters to put in unless you're at Aldi. But it's funny because we still say trolley. Like just today, my mom said, you might want to go get a trolley. Sometimes I'll say the buggy. Sometimes I'll say trolley.
I was just thinking about something. When we were in Britain, we were walking around one of the superstores out there, and I noticed these stools that I had forgotten about. They used to be in all of the grocery stores in England. They still are, it seems. And you don't see them as often in American grocery stores.
No.
Perhaps it's because the shelves are slightly higher up. So the shelf stackers who use those stools in Britain, they need something a bit taller. So usually what you see in grocery stores here are things like ladders to help them get to those higher spaces, because as you can see, I'm a tall person, I can only just about touch that. And on the subject of size, it won't surprise anyone to learn that American supermarkets are generally bigger than their UK counterparts.
Just a funny thing, I am 5'10" tall, which is very tall for a female. Every time I'm in the grocery store, almost every time, someone will ask me to reach them something on the top shelf. Like, I am known for that. And I don't mind. If you're short and you need something and you see me, you can ask me, really. It's okay.
I found this to be especially true at Walmart, whose retail spaces are so big they're not even supermarkets, but hypermarkets. A hypermarket combines a supermarket with a department store,
Yes.
basically a one-stop shop for everything. However, it might surprise some to learn that Britain has its own hypermarkets, with the likes of Tesco Extra, usually found on the outskirts of town. That said, at 70,000 square feet, even these don't stack up to those Walmart supercenters, which average about 100,000 square feet.
I just want to say that where I live is very rural, meaning, you know, it's very country. We don't have a lot of stores. The shopping mall is like 20 miles away, which is nothing really to us, but to go grocery shopping, we are going to our local Walmart. It is about 5 to 6 miles away, and that's not bad at all for us. But it's a super Walmart, so we get everything there. I mean, it's in West Virginia, even though I live in Maryland. I'm near the border. You can get guns, you can get car service, clothes, baby stuff. I mean, everything you can get in Walmart. And we're so used to Walmart now that I think we take it for granted, and then we see other people reacting to it, and it's crazy because we're just so used to it.
I have no idea how to find crab meat. I've never done this. We could just go to Baltimore. Only find milk of this size showing up in Asda because we just don't have the fridge space for it. And that's not all. The inclusion
always
of
get that
preservatives
size
as well as a different pasteurization method means that American milk actually lasts longer than British milk. So Americans can justify buying it by the gallon. But what is a gallon? Because both countries have different ways of defining that. A US gallon measures in at 128 fluid ounces, while a UK gallon equates to 160 fluid ounces. And so you might think, oh, Lawrence, you lied. British milk is bigger. Well, not really, because in the UK, milk is not typically sold by the gallon, but in pints and litres. The largest bottle on the market is the 6-pint bottle, which is a tad smaller than a US gallon, even if a UK pint is 1 1/4 the size of a US pint. It's all quite confusing. I think this will just about fit in our fridge. One thing you'll often notice in US grocery stores is the price tag. It's very inviting. It usually ends in 99. It makes you think, okay, it's 1 cent cheaper than, say, $8 if it's $7.99. And that's great. So you get the thing, you put it in your cart, and you walk up to the till thinking, all right, great, we've made some good deals here, until sales tax happens. In the US, sales tax is added at the point of purchase, and after 17 years living in the country, I no longer bat an eyelid at this. But having arrived here from a country where value-added tax is included in the price tag, it did briefly make me reconsider buying a...
Look, if you come here, when you first come here, it's a shock. You're not used to it. If you come here as a tourist, you're not used to it. But after living here so long, you don't even think about it anymore. It's like, I know it's going to be 6%. If I spend $100, $6 more. Like, you can't just take something up that's $10 and have a $10 bill and think you're good.
A ukulele when I barely had enough money to justify it in the first place.
I have a ukulele. I don't know how to play it, but I have it.
What's this? Refrigerated eggs. This is not something you would see in a British store, where the eggs are usually placed just on a shelf somewhere away from refrigeration. And why is that? It all comes down to both countries' attempts at preventing contamination. In the United States, the USDA mandates that eggs must be washed and sanitized before they reach the consumer. Basically, this is to ensure that it's not covered in chicken.
Yes.
The European Union, on the other hand, says that Class A eggs must not be washed, which sounds mental, right? Except the EU believes that washing eggs can do more harm than good. And there's a couple of reasons for this. When a hen lays an egg, she coats it in a cuticle in order to protect the egg against contamination once it pops out. Anyway, it's thought that washing eggs can result in the removal of this cuticle, making eggs vulnerable to pathogenic contamination. In America, the USDA requires producers to wash eggs in water with a minimum temperature of 90 degrees Fahrenheit. They are then rinsed with a special cleaning spray with the intention of eradicating contamination, and then dried. Not drying the eggs would mean that the resulting moisture could become a breeding ground for salmonella. Additionally, using cold or dirty water in the cleaning process would cause bacteria to seep in, and there'd be no extra lives for that egg. So what's this got to do with refrigeration? Well, firstly, the USDA freely admits that washing the egg can remove the cuticles, so chilling the eggs in store becomes more critical. In Britain and the EU, not so much. One thing that's often mentioned about US grocery stores is that the cashiers, when you get to the
Look, I moved here when I was a lot younger. To me, eggs being refrigerated is like normal. It makes sense. Like, to me, it's so weird to, like, I haven't been to an English grocery store really for a while, But yeah, I don't like the thought of them being pasteurized, and I don't know, it just seems like safer to me. I don't know.
Till are usually standing up. A lot has been made of how this is not great for, you know, your physical well-being and all of that. We're not used to this in Britain, where they are sitting on a stool, and as somebody who has just rubbish knees, I can completely empathise. On the other hand, arguments in favour of this, usually by those that own the stores, seem to be that standing up looks more professional and that it gives the cashier more range of movement, which, as I'm demonstrating here, is obviously true. And I take back everything I said in the...
Now, yes, here, if you go into one of our stores, you're going to see the cashier standing up. The only time I've ever seen a cashier sat down, well, a couple reasons. Firstly, if they have some kind of really, like, physical limitation, they might be allowed to have, like, a stool. But that's very, like, rare. But at Aldi, you will see... At least the last time I was in there, they were sat down. And I said, how great is it that you can sit down? Why can't everyone sit down? What difference does it make if you're sat down? It's so much better than standing on hard concrete all day. Just a little thing like that would make a big difference.
Previous scene. But let me know in the comments what you think. Should cashiers be able to sit
Yes.
like they do in Europe, or should they stand like
No, they
true
should
patriots?
sit.
Of course, increasingly, both countries are adopting self-checkouts.
Yes.
Chicago's Jewel Osco is no exception. I'm well practiced in this, and in fact, self-checkouts are, I think, amazing, because
I like
you don't
them.
have to talk to anybody unless
Yes.
you're buying alcohol. But I quit alcohol, and that was one of the reasons. Being social. What's going on with that? With that no eggs? What? I used to be good at it. Yeah. That did it. We did it. That's good. Old Bay seasoning.
How many store-provided bags did you use today?
0. And of course, with Britain and America being two nations divided by a common language, you can't really talk about grocery stores without talking about some of the terminological differences. A big
Right.
one, of course, as I
Trolley.
mentioned earlier, is trolley versus shopping cart. And of course,
I
when
say
you come
both.
to pay, in Britain, you go to the till.
The
In America,
till.
it's the cash register. And one that stood out to me recently, as people that don't usually go in-store, but in fact go to the curbside pickup lanes in Britain, which I'm surprised to say does have curbside pickup. It's just there, it's called Click and Collect. If you liked this video, be sure to
Click
watch
and
8
Collect.
American habits that confused me as a Brit. Until the next video.
Wow. Okay, that was really interesting. I really enjoyed that. I'm going to be watching some more of his videos. Lawrence, you rock. But yeah, really good. I will link him in the description below with my Twitch. If you're not on my Twitch, you should join me. I'm live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, 6:30 Eastern Standard Time. Come say hi. But yeah, I really like these English and American videos because, like I said, I have a unique perspective. My entire family here is British. I have family still in Britain. I have a brother in Wales. And I've lived here for a long time. So thanks for watching, and follow me along to the next video.